Picture this. You reach for your phone to call 911, emergency, life or death. You look down, and all you see is SOS mode. No signal, no connection, no help coming. This isn't a hypothetical. This just happened to hundreds of thousands of Americans yesterday when Verizon's entire network collapsed for 10 hours straight. And here's what they're not telling you about why this keeps happening. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why your phone company might be the weakest link in America's critical infrastructure, and what that means the next time you actually need it. But before we dive into what actually went wrong here, hit that like button right now so YouTube knows this story matters, and drop a comment. Did you lose service yesterday, or do you trust your carrier when it counts? Let's see who's paying attention. Here's what we know. January 14th, Verizon Communications, one of America's largest wireless carriers, suffered a catastrophic network failure. Not a regional glitch, not a maintenance window, a nationwide collapse that left customers stranded for 10 straight hours. 2.2 million outage reports flooded Down Detector. Cities from New York to Washington, D.C. had to issue emergency alerts, telling residents, don't bother calling 911 on Verizon. Find another carrier. Walk to a police station. You're on your own. And Verizon's response, we're truly sorry. A credit on your next bill. Problem solved, right? Not even close. Let's reconstruct what happened. Wednesday morning, hundreds of thousands of people wake up, grab their phones and realize they're completely cut off. No calls, no texts, no data. Just that haunting SOS symbol staring back at them. Now, for most people, that's an inconvenience. Annoying, sure. But here's where it gets dangerous. Emergency services were compromised. Think about that. New York City, 8 million people, had to publicly warn residents that if they had a medical emergency, a fire, a break-in, their Verizon phone was useless. The District of Columbia issued the same alert. Major metropolitan areas essentially told citizens, your carrier has failed. You need a backup plan. Verizon later claimed there was no indication of a cyber attack. Okay, so if it wasn't hackers, what was it? They won't say. No root cause disclosed. No technical breakdown provided. Just vague corporate language about restoration efforts and device restarts. But here's the part that should terrify you. This keeps happening. Late 2024, just months ago, Verizon suffered another nationwide outage. Same symptoms, same SOS mode panic, same circus of frustrated customers flooding social media begging for answers. That outage hit over 100,000 users at its peak and caught the attention of the Federal Communications Commission. Now we're back here again. Bigger, longer, more disruptive. FCC Chair Brendan Carr told Reuters his agency would review the issue and take appropriate action. FCC Commissioner Ana Gomez went further. She's demanding a full investigation. Translation: the government is starting to ask the question we should have been asking all along. Why is America's telecommunications infrastructure this fragile? Think about it. We're talking about a company managing critical communications for millions of people. A network that's supposed to be redundant, resilient, built for worst-case scenarios. And it's collapsing, twice in 6 months. And if you're still watching this thinking, I'm glad I'm not on Verizon, hold that thought. Because this isn't just a Verizon problem, it's an industry-wide vulnerability. Which is exactly why you need to subscribe to Atlas News Global right now. We're tracking the infrastructure failures the mainstream media ignores. Hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started. So what happens next? Verizon says they'll issue account credits. Great. You'll get $5 off your next bill. That'll fix the 10 hours you couldn't reach emergency services. But the real fallout is what this exposes about modern dependency. We've built entire lives around constant connectivity. Banking, healthcare, work, emergency response. All of it assumes your phone works. And when it doesn't, chaos. New York City didn't just issue a warning. They told people to physically go to police and fire stations. That's 20th century infrastructure backing up 21st century failure. The FCC investigation will likely focus on one question. Did Verizon have adequate redundancy protocols in place? Because a 10-hour outage suggests they didn't. And if they didn't, who else doesn't? AT&T, T-Mobile, the smaller regional carriers? We're one cascading failure away from finding out. Here's your takeaway. Yesterday's outage wasn't just a technical glitch. It was a stress test of America's critical infrastructure, and we failed. Verizon will pay out credits. The FCC will file reports. life will go on. But the fundamental vulnerability remains. Your phone is only as reliable as the network behind it. And that network? It's more fragile than anyone wants to admit. So the next time you see SOS mode on your screen, remember, that's not just a signal problem, that's a warning. This is Atlas News Global. We don't just report the news, we connect the dots they don't want you to see. Subscribe, share this video, and stay vigilant. Because the next outage, it might last longer than 10 hours.